Picture this. You're floating in the open ocean, a full 1,000 meters below the surface. The water is freezing cold. There's absolutely zero light down here. And the pressure? It is literally crushing. Then, out of the pitch-black abyss, you don't just hear something, you feel it. A sharp, staccato click that vibrates your internal organs. You've just encountered a creature we used to think of as this gentle giant singing in the deep. But the reality? It's an apex predator, wielding what can only be described as impossible biological technology. We're talking about the sperm whale and how it bends the very laws of physics to rule the midnight zone.
230 decibels. That is the confirmed sound pressure level of a sperm whale's echolocation click. It's officially recognized as the loudest biological sound on Earth. When we talk about this animal's evolutionary edge, we're not talking about teeth or claws. No, we're looking at a creature that produces a sound so intensely powerful it forces us to ask, is this just an animal making noise, or is it literally weaponizing physics?
So how exactly do you hunt what you can't even see? To understand why any living creature needs to generate a sound like that, we have to look at its battlefield. The sperm whale hunts in the bathypelagic zone. Down here, sunlight is just a distant memory. Yet this is the exact arena where the sperm whale hunts the giant squid, a fast, incredibly agile 30 to 40-foot nightmare equipped with razor-sharp beaks and serrated tentacles. In a totally dark 3D environment, the squid has a massive home field advantage. Honestly, a 45-ton slow-moving mammal shouldn't stand a chance. That is, unless it can somehow turn sound into sight.
Let's put the sheer scale of this biological pulse into perspective. A jet engine at takeoff? That's around 150 decibels. The Saturn V rocket, which is the most powerful machine humans have ever built, hit 204 decibels. The sperm whale hits 230. Now, sure, you can't compare air and water decibels perfectly one-to-one, but keep in mind that the decibel scale is logarithmic. Every 10 decibels means a tenfold increase in acoustic intensity. So the difference between a 150 decibel jet engine and a 230 decibel whale click means this animal's sound is nearly 100 million times more intense. It's basically a compact shockwave sprinting through the water.
Part 1. Anatomy of an acoustic lens.
How on earth does a biological organism generate a sound louder than a rocket launch without blowing itself apart? Well, it requires a head that takes up a full third of its entire body length. It's an incredibly complex acoustic machine. See, the whale doesn't use vocal cords. First, it forces air through these specialized acoustic valves near its blowhole called the monkey lips, which creates a massive snap. Then, that sound wave travels backwards into the spermaceti organ, a massive chamber holding up to 2,000 liters of waxy oil that basically acts as a liquid amplifier. The sound bounces off a parabolic bone at the back of the skull, literally just like a radar dish. And finally, it shoots forward through a series of fatty lenses called the junk, which focuses all that raw energy into a tight, directional acoustic laser beam.
What this beam actually achieves is absolutely staggering. It's an active biosonar system. The whale fires these highly directional clicks out into the darkness, and the returning echoes paint an ultra-high-resolution, real-time 3D image right in the whale's brain. The data shows they can scan a 140-meter sphere of ocean ahead of them. They know the distance, the shape, the texture, and even the internal density of the creatures around them. In total darkness, the sperm whale essentially has acoustic X-ray vision.
Part 2. The Big Bang Hypothesis.
For a long time, scientists thought this bioradar was actually capable of something far more sinister. Back in the 1980s, a really captivating theory emerged. Researchers thought the whale wasn't just using this raw 230 decibel pressure to map its environment. They suspected the whale was using it as a literal kinetic weapon to stun its prey. And the evidence for this acoustic kill weapon was pretty compelling. When scientists looked in the stomachs of sperm whales, they found fully intact giant squid with absolutely zero bite marks. Plus, look at the sperm whale's anatomy. It has this long, narrow, underslung jaw located way below its head. Trying to catch a lightning-fast squid with that jaw is kind of like trying to eat a sandwich floating behind your chin. Combine that with the fact that 180 to 200 decibels is considered a lethal threshold for humans, and it seemed obvious. The whale must be firing a sonic flashbang grenade to paralyze the squid before just casually swallowing it.
This theory was only bolstered by these terrifying, visceral accounts from freedivers who were scanned by curious sperm whales. You see, a loud sound in the air might rupture an eardrum, but underwater, sound travels straight through your body. Divers reported that when that 230 decibel click washed over them, their internal organs vibrated violently. The acoustic energy literally created heat inside their tissues. Some even reported temporary limb paralysis. I mean, if it does that to a human accidentally, just imagine what a point-blank blast would do to a soft-bodied squid.
It was such a cinematic, mind-blowing theory. But as one marine biologist so bluntly put it, this was a lovely idea killed by data. In 2016, a landmark study completely shattered the acoustic stunning hypothesis. Scientists had finally developed D-tags, these sophisticated recording devices with hydrophones that they literally suction-cupped directly onto hunting sperm whales. And what those tags recorded flipped everything we thought we knew completely upside down.
Part 3. The Terminal Buzz Sequence.
The data from those D-tags revealed a physiological targeting system far more terrifying and way more precise than a brute force acoustic blast. The timeline of an actual hunt starts with slow, powerful, long-range search pings. Once the whale locks onto a squid, it accelerates to mid-range creaks to update its acoustic map. As the whale closes that final gap, those clicks accelerate into a frantic terminal buzz, firing hundreds of clicks per second. It sounds like this continuous grinding roar. And then finally, the capture.
But here is the incredible plot twist. Those tags recorded during that terminal buzz. If the whale was actually using a sonic weapon, it would fire at maximum power right before the strike, right? Well, the data showed the exact opposite. The whale actually dials down its volume by 20 to 40 decibels at close range. Why would it do that? Because at that extreme close distance, raw power would blind its own sonar. By dropping the volume, the whale achieves ultra-high resolution, millisecond-level target tracking. It is trading brute force for superhuman precision.
So, if it's not stunning the squid, how on earth does it catch it without biting it? The tag data showed a sudden, violent jerk at the very end of the buzz, revealing the answer: buccal suction. Just millimeters from the squid, the whale uses its massive tongue and throat muscles to create an explosive negative pressure vacuum. It literally sucks the incredibly agile squid into its mouth in a fraction of a second, swallowing it whole before the squid even knows it's been caught. That precision sonar is what allows the whale to perfectly time this high-speed vacuum capture.
Part 4.
A deep-sea acoustic culture.
To truly understand this animal, we need to pivot for a moment from cinematic suspense to profound scientific awe. Because the exact same acoustic machinery used for lethal 230 decibel targeting is also the foundation of a rich, multi-generational language. When sperm whales gather at the surface, they use what are called codas. These are distinct, rhythmic click patterns. And recent AI analysis has shown that these aren't just random noises. They actually have syntax. Different clans have unique cultural dialects that are passed down through families. They're carrying on these incredibly complex social conversations across vast ocean basins using the exact same biological hardware they use to hunt.
But there's a deeply tragic irony here. The sperm whale's evolutionary mastery of sound is what allowed it to conquer the midnight zone for millions of years. But today, that acoustic reliance is its greatest vulnerability. Our modern ocean is drowning in human-made noise. We're talking the constant drone of global shipping vessels, deafening oil and gas seismic blasts, and high-intensity military sonar. For an animal whose entire world, its hunting, its navigation, its culture, is completely built on acoustic clarity, this noise pollution is literally like being blinded in your own home.
We used to think these creatures were just floating tanks of oil. Then we thought they were acoustic assassins firing sonic flashbangs. The reality, as we've seen in this explainer, is that they possess an integrated precision sensory system that vastly outperforms human engineering, tied to a brain capable of complex cultural dialects. So is the sperm whale wielding nature's ultimate weapon? Or are we simply witnessing a highly advanced intelligence that we are only just now beginning to comprehend? It's a question that makes the deep ocean feel more alien and more fascinating than ever before.